this day. This damn dog follows her all over the place. But we kind of dabbled into that. And then I always had that interest in the shorty bulls, and we got into the shorties, and still have a few now. We had an oldie. We had one oldie we got from Chris as well too. And didn't go too far into it. I just kind of want to, since judging and then wanting to get really familiar with the different breeds. That was kind of like my main thing. It's like I actually I can able to really see an oldie every day and know the characteristics, know their movement, different things like that. Then of course, just the bullies has always been the passion. So
always been the one.
Yeah, always been the one.
All right, let's get this fired up.
Let's do it.
Warning, if you're faint of heart or easily offended, this show is not for you.
I don't give a damn about what you saying, bitch, you in the way. Closed case, my nigga beat the charge just like yesterday. In your face, I'ma go hard and make sure you see the cake. Keep the pace, ain't no one fucking with me, this not a race. Doing the shit that I want, I'm never gonna stop, I'm never gonna give in. Making my way to the top, I told you to ride, I told you to get in. Now you can't eat out my pot, it's filled to the top, and I'm about to dig in. You say I was doing you wrong.
Welcome to the Go Rogue Podcast. Let me see here. We got some comments rolling. We got 12 people on already. So, joining us this evening, ABKC Judge. Oh, losing my voice. Bully breeder. Yeah, right before the show started, we were talking a little bit about, like, you've had a lot of breeds. You've had, so you've had an oldie, you've had shorty bulls, bullies.
Yeah.
So what was kind of that primary, like the bully always been kind of the primary breed that you've always liked, or?
Yeah, bully's always been the primary breed. Originally, when I started out with the dogs, I actually started out with pit bull terriers back in the day. That's what I started out with. So then was it 2004? So that's when I got my first bully, and we've been going from there since with the American Bullies. Yeah,
I saw you posted not too long ago. There was so you got your kennel set up. Like you said something about time to redo it or something. I was like, look, pretty good to me. I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, that was an older picture when we first moved over to the house where we're at now. So yeah, it's time to go on and revamp them now. It's been out there in the weather, so we're gonna go on and do new kennels out there. And it's crazy. Like right now, most of my dogs, we have a building as well too. So most of the dogs in the building, and we got dogs everywhere. Dogs in the building, we got dogs in the kennels. The Frenchies, they're kind of just chilling inside the house, and we got 2 bullies that's in the house, but I'm going to go on and redo everything back there. I'm actually still working on my building, so I'm going to have like just about everything out there, just a few Frenchies inside the house, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people. What state are you in?
I'm in Georgia.
Okay, so
Originally
you're
from
in
New
Georgia.
Orleans, and just came here to Georgia for Katrina. And just decided to stay.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So fair weather, Georgia doesn't get too cold, so that's
Man.
outside setup's perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Honestly, I have dogs that stay out in the kennels all year round. No issues at all. We'll kind of put up some tarps just to block the wind. Got some heat blowing into them during the summertime. During the wintertime.
Mhm.
Summertime is really good because where the kennels are set up, we have a lot of shade back there. We're sitting on right a little bit over an acre, and then behind us, it's 53 acres behind us.
Oh,
And it's super, super shaded back there, so it's set up perfect for the dogs. Perfect.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So you said you started with the American Pit Bull Terrier.
Yep.
And then what kind of made you kind of make that shift to the American Bully?
It was crazy. I remember with pit bulls, and once again being in New Orleans, still staying with my parents now, and I had the pit bulls, and my mom used to feed the dogs if I was at school. She'll go outside, feed the dogs. She feeds them a ton of food, right? So I get home from school, and I'm like, wow, why the dog's stomach looking so big? Dog's out there on the chain, big old bloated belly. I'm like, no, I need to tuck. I need to see a little bit of the rib, And she's got him. She's like, oh, they were hungry. I just put the food. I'm like, no. So it was one of the dogs. My last pit bull that I bought, he was a Jeep Crenshaw dog, Tank. That was my buddy. And he was, I got him from a guy named Anthony. And he did a lot of hog hunting and stuff like that. So he did have a little bit more size on him. But however, I still kept him kind of slender. So one day, once again, I'm getting home. Mom fed him. I'm like, damn, he actually looks pretty good with weight on him. He had he's a larger dog. He had a little bigger head. He had a little bit heavier bone than the rest of my game dogs that I had. And ever since I seen him, and then first bully I actually really seen in person, Sean True Tank, seen some of those dogs. I'm like, damn, that's different. I like that, And I just got intrigued by it, and then I was like, you know what? I think I like this size. I like that wild factor of a dog. Even back, if you look at those dogs now, it's nothing compared to what we have now. But Back then, it was like, man, that's a pretty interesting looking dog,
Mm-hmm.
So I started to gravitate towards that, and then also me starting to, get into fitness and working out back then. I was like, man, I want a big dog, I want to be a big guy, like a big dog. So I just kind of started to go with the American Bully,
Yeah, it's funny. Every time I talk to somebody that came from the pit bull, or they came in right around that transition time,
yeah,
and they kind of describe what the dog was back then.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing when you really think about what they've become in such a short time. In reality, like they've changed so much in just a short time.
They have. And it's so crazy when I look at I was just actually going through our fish room and looking at different magazines. We got a lot of old Atomic Dog magazines, and we're looking at those dogs. I'm like, damn, these dogs look so different back then compared to what we have now,
Yeah.
And looking at dogs like Short Shot and Kamali and all those dogs look amazing back then, but they don't look like what we have now,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy, Yeah, that's a great thing about YouTube. Like YouTube is forever. You upload a video, it's there forever.
Yeah.
So I'm able to go back, and I used to watch all these old videos,
mm-hmm.
which, in some senses is a good thing, in some senses is a bad thing if you understand how to take it.
Yeah.
Because, when I first got into it, I'm watching these old videos and seeing these older dogs and assuming, hey, this is what the breed is.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much came into it kind of with the wrong vision,
Mm-hmm.
just because. Even if you look at the Wikipedia entry for the American Bully, it's not the American Bully we say is American Bully now.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fit. So that's if you understand its historic information, then you can go back and watch these videos, and they're kind of cool.
Yes. Yes.
But if you look at them as, okay, this is current modern information, then you're in trouble.
Right.
So that's kind of the hard part.
Oh, yeah.
So you transition to American Bullies. I'm assuming you just breed them for yourself. Like it's not necessarily. When did you get involved with ABKC? When did all that fire up?
first involvement with ABKC was 2005, 2006.
Okay.
Started attending some shows that were, pretty much in the South. Our first ABKC show attending would have actually been in was Georgia, matter of fact, and that was the Atlanta Bully Palooza. There was a fun show that they used to do in Alabama, which was done by South Cross Fred, and that was a pretty cool show. It was a UKC judge that was there at that show. But however, that was kind of like our first time, like really getting into the bully scene with dogs. So, but first sanctioned show would have been Atlanta Bully Palooza.
Okay.
They had,
Yeah. I heard people talk about, the early days in ABKC wasn't necessarily like put them in the show ring. It was more like it's a cookout or a meetup or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Meetups. Then we've done like a lot of the meet and greets and stuff in New Orleans. Did those like at the lakefront. Just people come out, barbecue grills everywhere. People just coming out talking about dogs, stack dogs up, taking pictures with a whole bunch of people and dogs and everything. And it really wasn't a show. It was a real meet and greet.
Yeah. And what was it? I think last Jacksonville they did. They kind of do that prior to the show or one of the park. And, I think that kind of thing is something, the community should get back into.
Oh, for sure.
I think it would be a good thing, even if it's associated like a day before the show or something
for sure.
like that to kind of justify everyone getting together. Cause it sounds like a good time.
It is. It is. Yeah. We actually did a show in 2018 along with Rachel and Austin of Atlanta Kennel. It was the Atlanta Bully Barbecue. So we're actually thinking about, Perlina and I was talking about that. We're thinking about bringing that back, and we want to do it just like that. Yeah, it is going to be a sanctioned show for sure, but we want it to be more of where it's like the old days, coming out, just hang out, have the grill going, just if you want to bring your own grill, that's cool. But, we're going to do some barbecue out there, going to have some stuff out there for the kids, and just really have it like a huge meet and greet. But also, yes, it will be a sanctioned show.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That in itself it's attractive to me, like to have that more community driven situation where
absolutely.
Then we'll also have a show, but we want to get people together, see dogs, bring your dogs out, put hands on dogs.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing. Always.
I think it's cool because like even right now, I feel that that has really been missing from the community lately. I really feel. We want to get those titles. We want to get those points. We want to get top dog, all that. Yeah, that's cool. Trust me, it is. But also at the same time, we also have to keep it where that camaraderie that really brought the bully community together. That's how it was formed. It was based off of that. It was based off of people just getting together, having some nice dogs, politic and talking or whatever, doing, just meeting different people and seeing these different dogs in person. And just to hang out, enjoy versus it being so competitive, just trying to, I got to get these points. I got to get this champion title. I got to get this grand champion title. I want to be top dog. Yeah, just let's get back to those basics. And I think that'll actually bring a lot of the other dogs that people don't bring out, to the shows.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, and I wonder if it's the competitive, being competitive, or if some of it is. We've also become very critical of not only our own dogs, but other people's dogs.
For sure. Yeah.
And you feel like maybe people come, they show, they just want to get their shit and get out before, anybody says anything or any kind of crap. You know what I mean? That's why, when we went to the park there in Jacksonville, there's a bunch of people showed up. We had the dogs in and out. It was hot. It's Florida. So we didn't want to leave them out the whole time. But we had them in and out. Let anybody want to see them, stacked up with other dogs, had a good time. It's good to just take your ego and your competitiveness and kind of put it away for a minute.
Yeah.
Just be a dog man and just look at other people's dogs and appreciate what they got.
For sure.
I think part of that, it's tough, because you want to build a better dog. And obviously, you're going to build a better dog if your whole community's on the same page.
For sure. Absolutely.
And
I do agree with that.
Well, I think when you take that community aspect out of it, it makes it tough.
Yeah, it does.
That same page.
Yeah, it definitely does.
So, so you guys are still breeding? Like you doing some breeding now?
Yeah, we're we do a breeding every now and then. Our last bully breeding, litter that we had was 2 years ago now, and so yeah, now I get that little wild itch every now and then. Say, yeah, I'm a breed dog, and I see so many nice dogs out. It's like, man, I like this dog. Oh man, I like this dog at the show, and I'm like, you know what, I do want to kind of put some more dogs out there, and probably put something in the ring myself. I won't, but I'll probably put it with somebody to go on and
Right.
show it for me. But yeah, so we're doing a breeding coming up now. Actually, we have 2 females in season right now. So one we'll be doing with Champion Jack. That's our female Laura London, and then I have my other female Tom girl. She'll be going to Champion Beagle.
Nice.
Yep.
And I think that, as far as the concern is seeing dogs, you as a judge, that is a huge advantage. I mean, you get to put hands on all kinds of dogs.
Yes.
So that may be a move I have to start remembering, start hitting you guys up and be like, what have you seen lately? It's impressive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I always get that, like, I'll have some friends that be like, man, what'd you see? Like, what'd you see out of the country? What did you think about those dogs out there? Or, man, I'll tell them about a dog that I was really impressed by. And like, man, I actually was able to see this dog. I was actually able to put hands on this dog and see this dog move. I see his actions. Like, I'm seeing these dogs, with my own 2 eyes. And it's a great thing. That's a great thing. It's one of the big pluses, especially if you're still breeding and you're a judge.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets complicated where, if you're judging, obviously it makes it tough to put a dog in a ring.
Mm-hmm.
So you almost have to like showing it out with somebody and let them show, but then you got to be cognizant if they're at the show too. You don't want them showing under you.
Absolutely.
It can be difficult, but I think it's worth it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's what we have done lately. We haven't had any dogs in the show ring lately. Last thing we had that was showing was a Frenchie, and she did pretty good. I decided to hold her back because I know her downfalls, and I just wanted to see what she can do. But I do have one that actually will be going out pretty soon. That'll be starting to hit the ring. That I'm really confident about. That I know that will definitely build a title out for sure. So she'll start showing pretty soon here. But it's just I like to kind of keep the confusion down. Because, it's always a talk in the community. Oh, this person only won because he's a judge, or, there is the favoritism, the politic thing. So I would rather just say, hey, you know what? I'll put a dog with a handler, let them go on and do their thing. I'm not even at the show. If I am at the show, I'm sitting back, chilling, just observing, and I'm out, But most of the time, if I'm not even at the show that dog will be at.
Let me see where this someone comment up here. Feels a little more like WWE than a community right now. Unfortunately, be glad when we get away from the drama-driven nonsense. Been looking forward to this episode. Enjoyed getting to speak with Errol and Jacksonville show. Very approachable and informative. Nice.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I that's like anybody, it is. It's very competitive, and all the talk and the hate and this and that, I like to stay out of that stuff. And, whoever wants to come and talk to me about anything, man, look, I'm open, but I'll talk to you. It doesn't matter,
Yeah, to me, I'm like, I think it's good to be competitive because that actually motivates you.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does. Definitely does.
When your dog's not in the ring, then it's time to put the competitiveness away. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know what? When my dog's in the ring and your dog's in the ring for 5 minutes, we're not friends. We're fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I might talk a little shit to you on the side and everything,
Yeah, I can't remember what show it was. I had one of my dogs. I think it was QK. I think I had QK had one of my dogs in the ring, and the other owner was standing beside me, and they're judging, and they take some of the dogs around the ring, and that other dog's really nice. My dog's nice.
Yeah.
And then they judge standing there looking at the dogs, and he said, front stack them, and they all front stack toward him. And I just looked over at him. I was like, "You lost."
I got you. Got you.
It was so funny. Dean Stout. Did Dean Stout tell her bring it, bitch? She only did it that once, but that's what she's known for now. She don't say that when she's doing real estate, thank God.
Dana's getting that sales. She's like, come on, bring it, bitch.
But no, I mean, I
It's
always
awesome.
find that part of it, it just fun, like the competitiveness.
It is. Yes, it is. It is.
Um,
And you know, some people don't know how to take it, you know, and it's, you know, it's a sport, you know. You are going to be competitive. You have football players, they would hate each other's guts on the field. You know, they'll talk so much shit, but at the end of the day, you know, they're willing to shake hands, dap it up or whatever, talk. You know, it's a sport, you know, so definitely be competitive at that time, but also at the same time, you got to learn how to put that to the side as well.
yeah, exactly. There's time and place for it.
For sure.
So you get into your showing, and then at some point you decide you want to be a judge. Where was that motivation? Like what got you to that point?
Well, honestly, you know, when I started up, I never thought about being a judge. That didn't run across my mind at all whatsoever. You know, when I got into it, just basically really for the love, of course, of the breed. And then, you know, I liked showing. And every show that I went to, I just carried myself in a way where I always was approachable. Back then, my sister, she still comes out to some of the shows now. She comes out to my show and does a little bit of filming and everything. And back then, she was filming, and I would do interviews of people. I mean, I'm talking about old school. The big camera on the shoulder, she's hitting it up with the camera. It's a microphone with a cord, you know. So I'm walking around, I'm doing different interviews with people and stuff at the shows. And you know, I was just out there just really wanting to meet different people, talk to different people, and you know, just have fun and show my dog. So I never really thought about judging, honestly. And I was asked, one of my main mentors, Ron Ramos, Papa Pitt, you know, I talked to him one day, and he was like, you know, I like the way you carry yourself in the ring. You present your dogs really nice. You're always presentable as far as the way you dress them when you're in the ring. And have you ever thought about, you know, judging? I was like, no, I didn't. And I mean, I took that as a compliment when he asked me that.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was huge for me, you know. And I'm like a little kid at that point. I'm like, damn, Ron Ramos hit me up and, you know, gave me those compliments and asked me if I thought about being a judge. And I called Perlina. I was like, at the time we were just dating at the time. We weren't even married. I'm like, babe, I said, guess who called me today? She's like, what? Like, Ron called me today. I was at work and he asked me about, like, if I thought about being a judge, you know. I was like, she's like, well, what did you tell him? It's like, I didn't know what to say. so she's like, well, what do you think? I said, I don't know. She's like, you ought to go for it, you know. So I contacted him back, and he's like, he just started sending me different information and different books to read, and you know, he just sent me, you know, just a whole bunch of different diagrams and everything, and I was like, all right, cool. Well, I guess I'm about to do this, you know, and that was it from there.
Yeah, you know, I don't think, me personally, I don't really think I would want to be. But what's funny is because I wanted to know what you guys had to learn. I'm like, if I want to build a dog that a judge is going to like, I need to know what the judge is looking for, you know? So that was my thing about it. You know, I was always like, I'd love to just do the judge test. Be like, no, I don't want to be a judge. I just want to do the test. I just want to know what the process is, you know. To me, it's always been kind of show focused. It always has been since from the beginning. You know, that's why I got American Bully, so I can breed them and show them.
Yeah. When did you start up, brother?
So it would have been 4 years ago. So right at 2000 was COVID? It was 2000.
2000. Yeah, 2000. But
So,
2020. I'm sorry, COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
2020. Yeah.
I was say that. Wait, hold on.
Way back. But yeah, 2020. Well, what it was Christmas time
Okay.
of 2019.
Okay.
What it
Okay.
was. We picked up our first dog in Florida from Matt at Venom Line.
Okay. Okay.
In December of 2019.
Gotcha.
So that's so. As far as bully breeders are concerned, we're still new. You know, we ain't got nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, y'all accomplished a lot in a short period of time for sure.
It's been a lot of hustle. It's been a lot of, you know, we've dealt with losses. We've dealt with all kind of crap. You know what I mean? And that's I guess it's an effect of moving so fast. You know,
Oh yeah.
Stuff you may have experienced in 4 or 5 years, we experienced in a couple of years because we're just pushing so hard. So
yeah.
And I try to tell everybody, be prepared. Like, don't get your mind and everything's going to be perfect, because it's not.
Yeah.
You're going to lose dogs. You're going to lose litters. The girl's not going to take. Whatever. If you think it can happen, it's going to happen to you. So
Oh yeah. We've experienced quite a bit for sure. Quite a bit. I was just telling the story to someone about first time we actually ever had a female to actually eat and kill pups.
Oh yeah.
That was first time experiencing that. That was what 7 years ago now. And that was a rough one. We've experienced, females, about to have pups too early and mess around and lose her and the whole litter. Just, all kinds of things. All kind of stuff. Mitra and, C-sections and emergency stuff. And,
Yeah, we dealt with pyometra early because we had got a female that had belonged to someone else, and for whatever reason, she didn't have a home at the moment. And Sam called me up and said, "Hey, Mimi's available." And I'm like, "Mimi, you like Precious's mom, Mimi?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Damn right, I'll take her."
Yeah.
And so we went and picked her up and brought her home. It's amazing. Black and white female, just beautiful. You could see Precious in her. You kind of see where the pieces of Precious came from. And I remember I was like, man, I cannot wait to breed her. She made Precious. She is going to make something amazing.
Yeah.
I remember one Saturday I was outside and I opened up her kennel, and all the dogs run out of the kennel and they run to the field. She runs out of the kennel and she runs over and jumps on the couch and lays down. And I was like, and if you know Mimi's personality, that's not her. Like, that's not what she does. I'm like, that's odd. Like, what the hell is that all about? And I didn't think too much of it. I put her back, let the dogs play, put her back in the kennel for the night. Next day I go out. I let her out again. They all run out. She walks out and jumps on the bed. And I said, nope, that's it. Jumped on the couch again. I'm like, there ain't no way in hell Mimi's jumping on the couch 2 days in a row.
Right.
So we took her to the vet, and it was on a Sunday. Thank God, our vet will kind of bend over backwards for us, do whatever we need. And we took her in, and he looked at her and he said, "It's closed pyometria." He said, "If you want to save her, we got to fix her. Like, do what you got to do. I'll save that. I'd rather have the dog alive than, He's like, if it was open, we might be able to put her on antibiotics. We might be able to fix it. He said, but with being closed, there's nothing we can do.
Nothing you can do. Yeah.
So we still got her. She's still a character, but she's done, And the bad thing was when we got her, we showed her like one time and she did amazing. Man, I was like, man, we're going to put her in the ring. She's going to grand champ just like her daughter did. And then, when she caught that, that's one of the stipulations of showing the dog is they have to be intact.
Yeah.
So pretty much put her in retirement right there.
Man. That sucks. Yeah, we had a Frenchie actually that was actually able to save that one. Hers was actually closed, and we ran her on Ludolice, and we did those injections, and she was good to go. Actually, we did one more litter with her, and then we just spayed her from there, and she was good to go. But we've had situations where I've had closed pyos that you just have to go on and make the call, either do the surgery or, just let them go.
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, we've had that, and what else? Oh God, just the ones that tear you up the worst are the ones that just don't have an explanation. I've got females I've had to the vet heart cleared, everything's good. You know, you're just like, oh, and she is just a perfect piece. She's like, this is what I needed. And then you just go out in your kennel one day and they're just gone.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell happened?
What happened? Yeah.
Take them in for a necropsy, and the vet comes out and says, we don't see nothing. I'm just like, nah, what the hell? You know, it's just heartbreaking, and you got to be able to pick up the pieces and just start all over, basically.
Start over. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So I had a nice little female that I had. It was a Casablanca daughter that, and I struggled with trying to get this female to take. Finally wound up doing the surgical. I was like, you know, this is going to be the last straw with it. Did a surgical with her. Boom. Caught it. She's blowing up. I'm like, oh man, this is amazing. I did it was her to my boy Icon, and we got to 2 weeks before due date. She's in the kennel. I'm setting her stuff up to bring her into the building, set up her whelping area and all. And so I noticed she didn't eat her food, and she's normally a pig. Eating her food, I'm like, all right, what's going on? You know, it's like, nah, this is way too early for you to stop eating food right now, you know. And so I brought her in the house. I'm like, you know, trying to feel her out, see what's going on. Couldn't figure it out. She's moping around. So I'm like, all right, let me go on and drop her off to the vet. And good friend of mine, she's a vet tech, and she'll go to take her into the vet for me and everything to take care of for me. So we do that. She said, well, I got her to eat some canned food. She ate that. It's like, but I'm going to take her into the office, and, you know, we'll see what's going on. All right, cool. So she let her outside to use the bathroom and everything. And then brought her on in, said she's leaving out of the door. She said, man, you would not believe this dog just fell over and died. I was like, no. So brings her to work anyway, open her up. She has 5 huge pups, one a pup detached from the sack, and that's what did it for her. Oh, man, heartbreaking. Yeah. And it's like, it's always the one that, like, you just waiting to, like, this is going to be the one. This is the one. And then that happens, you know.
Yeah, I've had some horrifying. The one, what was that one? The one female we bred, she was 30 days, a little over 30 days. And she started acting weird. I told Dina, I said, let's just bring her in the house. We'll keep an eye on her. I think she'll be fine, you know. We did some testing, you know, and her progesterone levels were lower than they should have been. And she said, you know, she's trying to abort the litter. Maybe there's a single puppy in there that's a problem. She's trying to abort that puppy. She said, let's just keep an eye on her, you know, bring her back Monday, whatever, yada, yada. And I just remember she jumped off the couch and walked over to the kitchen and just kind of squatted down and just little blob on the floor. And
man.
And so we take her back to the vet, and we're like, hey, we know she passed 1. And they looked at her, and then they were like, we're going to take the rest of them out. The whole thing is no good. So, and that's that kind of setback. It's like, because, you know, you're planning on having that litter. You're going to raise these pups. You're going to try to keep the best one. You're going to train. That's years. That puts you behind years every time something like that happens.
Oh, yeah.
It's tough. And it's, you know, we've had a lot of good luck, but also, you know, we've had a lot of setbacks. For everything good we've had something bad. I'm sure that's probably the same way with you.
Oh, yeah. Part of the game. Part of the game.
Good evening. Good evening. So you start judging, and now you got to judge internationally.
Yes. Yep. I've judged internationally. I've judged, where I did Euro Nationals in Spain. I did that. That was 2016. Also did the other breeds for nationals. That was 2019. Okay. But out of the country, I've gone to the Philippines. I've gone to Thailand, Indonesia, Nicaragua, Honduras, a few places, you know, Canada, of course. Plenty places. Yeah.
So what do you think like the breeds? How's the breed doing other places? Yeah.
You know, honestly, the last few times that I've gone out, I think they're actually doing really good. Romania, when I went to Romania recently, I was very impressed with the dogs out there. I mean, very, very nice dogs. And that the show in Romania, it was a lot of the European countries. So you had, people from, Italy, Spain, you had, all over, Holland, a lot of people were there, and they had some really nice dogs that I saw there. Canada, went to Canada. That was a few months ago, matter of fact, and seen some very nice dogs out there as well too. Matter of fact, the dog I'm breeding to, I saw him out there, and I was impressed with him. And there's more dogs out there in Canada. There was another Canada show I did for Justin, that's the host out there, and even his show, he had some pretty nice dogs, and that was probably about 2 or 3 years ago. That show was, and nice dogs there. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's and that is definitely, I know there was a craze for a little while with like the Philippines was buying up a bunch of dogs. Every breeder at the time, they were trying to like do as well. It was weird because it seemed like the Philippines was snapping up a bunch of dogs.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you could tell that it shifted a little bit. They were looking for more premium dogs.
Yes.
I mean, so they stopped snapping up everything.
Yeah.
But they were snapping up, some of the more premium dogs.
Yes.
Fortunately, they forgot that premium dogs come with premium prices.
Premium prices. Oh yeah. That's for sure. Yeah. And when I went to the Philippines, I was impressed as well too. They bought up some very nice dogs here recently. I know there's like a Grim Son out there, if I'm not mistaken, that came from Nico, and then there was a dog that Tristan he sent out there that is an XL male, if I'm not mistaken, and of course, and then you have Zeus went out there as well too. But when I did that show out there was some pretty nice dogs, really nice dogs out there. Yeah. And they take it really serious too. I mean, the handlers out there, the way those dogs are trained and how they care of the dogs, they definitely have stepped it up for sure.
That's what I will say. When I've seen some of the videos of some like their facilities in other countries, like the Philippines, and like their facilities are wild. Like, yeah, it makes me, I look at I think my facility is pretty nice, but then I see some of the shit they're doing. I'm like, shit, I'm a backyard breeder. Crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They got their own vet labs and marble floors and shit.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah. It was one of the guys I met out there in the Philippines. Matter of fact, he owns a vet clinic. He does more of the exotics, and but he does have American bullies as well too. But he does have exotics, and he was showing me like pictures of the vet clinic and everything out there. Amazing spot. His kennels, just like you said, I mean, nice marble floors. I mean, the kennels are set up like super nice. It's insane.
It's wild.
Insane. Yeah.
Somebody decided they was going to do it, and they were going to do it right. That's
yes.
And that's exciting. That's exciting to see, a breed that basically started here start to propagate across the planet, and people have an appreciation for it and do it right.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Shows events. They hosted one of the best shows/events phenomenal.
Regime, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, the Labor Day showcase. Yep. We're gonna be going again next year. So same spot, beautiful venue, of course. Everybody loves that venue. I know when we first went to go and see that spot, it was like, yeah, this is definitely the place. So everybody loves that venue that's visited. So in the Georgia show, the what is that event center called? That's the convention center, Columbus Trade and Convention Center.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I like the Georgia shows. Like there's like a short list of shows. Like I hit, the Georgia show obviously always won. Jacksonville always won.
Oh yeah. Jacksonville is always a good one. We always have some really nice shows. I'm looking forward to Polina's show that's coming up as well too. I know that one's going to be insane. So,
well, that's what we were talking about. I'm really thinking that more than likely, as long as it's the person that puts on the show has got to be willing to do it again. But that particular show, I feel like it has the potential to become one of those like staples for a lot of people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There are some you go to optionally, but there are some like you always go to. There's no question I'm going to this.
Right. Right. Yeah. Rolando shows, here in Georgia, of course. That's one of those shows. Like, all right, when the show comes around, you're going to hit that show. Season opener. You got a marathon. You're going to go to those shows. And we've been having some really good turnouts with the Labor Day showcase. So it's that's another one that we're going to that show. Yeah, everybody's going to go to it. Allentown shows. Yep. Allentown's coming up. Yep. We're going to Allentown. We know Jacksonville. Yep. Jacksonville was crazy. Yep. We're going to Jacksonville again. So, yeah.
I think we went, where did we go? Went to Kansas one time. I don't even know why. We just went to Kansas one time. We went to a show in Kansas.
Okay.
And I just like, there's nothing in Kansas. And I'm from West Virginia, and that's saying a lot. I was just like, we are nowhere.
Yeah.
Here, a hotel and the venue. That was it.
That's it. Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
That is it.
Thing I liked about nationals is being in Texas is because, man, there's no lack of shit to do in Texas. Like, you can get in trouble real quick. There's something
for sure. It's for sure. Oh yeah. Any corner you turn.
Yeah. I mean, crazy.
Yeah.
We were downtown one night. And you hear a lot about like the car scene in Texas, but you don't get to experience it firsthand if you're traveling. And it was so funny. It was like one of those nights after the show, we're all in the car and we're getting ready to go to dinner. Mm-hmm. We're like in downtown, big, giant, tall buildings.
Yeah.
We're sitting at a red light, and the light turns green. And before I could even move, we got passed by like 8 donks all at once. They all had convertibles, like 26, 28-inch wheels. All neon lit up.
Mm-hmm.
I told my wife, I said, you will never see that again.
Right.
It was just mind blowing how much these guys have in these cars.
For sure. And that's me. That's why I like it as well too there. Cause of course I'm into the cars as well too. And, and I'm seeing, the donks, the old schools, and the, me, I like the trucks. So the lower trucks and, you got that cam hitting right in the vehicle, and you just you hear that, you're looking around like, hold on, where I hear it, where is that, so that, man. And then of course can't beat the barbecue. You got real good food there. It's a lot to do. I know last time I didn't go last nationals, but one before that, and after the show we all got on the scooters going around, just fun, just lots of fun. So yeah, Houston is definitely the go-to for sure. Texas.
Yeah, I think Texas actually turned me back on to like the single cab truck. Like I forgot all about like the square bodies and all that shit, and even more modern day single cabs.
Yeah.
And boy, they know how to build them down there. I mean, looking amazing.
I'm telling you, I wish I was down there. I really do. I was actually going to send my truck down to a guy just to do the interior down there because he's so good, but I'm like, do I want to do that, or do I have to go through it? Nah, just keep it here and get it done here, But yeah,
I sold everything. I got nothing right now.
What?
I know. I got everything. They're just sit around. We're so busy, you're just sitting around.
Yeah.
And so I told Dina, I said, well, they're just going to sit here until they turn into nothing. Then no one's going to want them. So we might get rid of them now.
Yeah.
But so I'm still like cautiously looking into the market, and like I think I'm gonna go a little old school next time. I think we'll get a little bit old.
What you got in mind? What you think?
I've always liked the '68 Chevelle. I thought about trying to find one of those and just do like a modern, like a rat rod or like a resto mod type deal.
Yeah.
Modern drivetrain, but keep the older style body, something like that.
For sure. Yeah.
Something I can enjoy just cruising around, like nothing. That's the problem with those other cars, man. When we had that ZL1, and I did a bunch of work to it. Now this car makes 900 horsepower, and I'm like, this is a death machine. Like, I'm going to die in this thing. So I sold it to some other guy. He put it in the garage. He don't even drive it.
Yeah.
Like you did it for the wrong thing. Looks like we got some questions here. They want to know what your favorite 3 dogs you ever produced.
Let's see. My favorite 3 that I've produced. I would say my knucklehead icon, which was the latest one that I have here. No, I take that back, honestly. Lauren London actually is my favorite. She's a bitch that's, I mean, just unreal. And I love her. Icon, definitely another one. I'm actually do more than 3. Tomboy, love her. Big bitch, just, just love her. Love what she produced as well too. And then I'm gonna say I like Minnie as well. Bridget the Midget, that's our colossal daughter. I like her as well. And I'm gonna go to Mr. Amazing and Sensation. That was from our Dax litter, and I like those 2 as well. Yeah, really like those 2. But I would say my favorite top right now would be Lauren London.
Now, did you ever get to see Dax in person?
Yes, I did. Yep, I did. When I was in Cali, I saw him in person. For the time, he was just definitely something that was like, damn, he's different, different dog. Was he the cleanest and correct dog? Nah, but he was definitely, you can tell he was that dog that was going to make some noise for sure. And that was before he was young. I think he was about 7 or 8 months when I seen him. I didn't see him in his older age, but I saw him when he was pretty young. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, for the best I can tell, is like he was kind of the one that started that shift as far as how the dog looked.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
And then everyone seemed to. And the weird part is looking back on him, I'm like, I see it. I see what they liked, because that's exactly what I like. You know what I mean? Like that's that component that I'm still looking for every day when I see a new litter. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
he was definitely different. Like I said, he was about between 7 and 8 months old, something like when I seen him. And just as a pup that young, he was. I mean, that was definitely way different from anything that I've ever had that I've seen in person. He was impressive then, So I can imagine what he looked like as he got older in person.
Now, is your current stock, are they still of that original bloodline of the American Bully? Like, are they still descendants of your original dogs?
I do. Yeah, I do have some. Majority of the ones. Well, when I started into American Bullies, I actually I had a lot of stuff that came off of Ultimate Blues. Not sure if you heard of them or not. She's here in Georgia. I'm not sure if she's still running the kennel or not, but Kim Taylor. That's when I started to get into the American Bullies, some of my first stuff. I kind of went over into the more of the Rock and Ruby Paco stuff. My buddy DJ from Mo Better Blues, that's what he started running. I really like Rocky, how he looked, and I like what he produced. So I still do carry some of that blood, in my dogs.
Yeah, unfortunately, people get into they kind of get into a groove with a bloodline, and they just kind of stick there. You know what I mean? You'll see these same people we do Rocco blood, or we do this or that. You know what I mean? And they'll deviate from it too much. I think that's a huge benefit to coming out to these events and shows. You get to see stuff that isn't within your circle,
right?
Something you may want to incorporate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we have that discussion. We say, oh yeah, we have a pretty limited bloodline, and we kind of do, because pretty much everything came from Dax at this point, but there's still deviation out there enough, I think, for us to mix it up a little bit.
Yes. Yep.
So what are you trying to incorporate now? Are there certain blood dogs, or just style dogs, or what are you looking for when you're incorporating something into your program now?
Honestly, it's really just a style. I'm as far as the bloodlines, I'm fine where I'm at. I don't really go towards the bloodline as much. I mean, I'm just really looking at the dogs that I like, and just like I said, when I saw Jack, I immediately, when I saw him, I was like, I gotta use this damn big ass dog. I like this dog. I didn't really care too much what his pedigree was. Did I ask what his pet was? Just wanted to see, what was in there. Yeah, I did, but I just really liked how the dog looked. you know, and you know what I have as far as, you know, pedigree bloodlines that I have here, I'm kind of good where I'm at. You know, I like the look of, you know, of course, a lot of the dogs that I have definitely does have Rocco, because we, you know, did Rocco breeding, of course, did 2 of them actually. And then also still incorporating still my old school, the Razor's Edge, well, Rock and Ruby and Pocket Blood. So I still use that in my pedigree. So I just really like to go for the look. You know, what I'm wanting to do is actually get more just standard and pocket dogs, but I just want a lot of mass and just a nice functional dog.
So sounds like you're probably like a lot of us, like tall pocket, short standard, kind of your range.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. That seems to be a common thread with a lot of people I talk to. Like, you know, there's a huge movement for like a 12, 13, 14-inch dog. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of people that are solely focused on like building a breed and continuing the breed kind of fall in that range of that. Taller pocket to a short standard.
Yeah.
I think when matter of fact, I don't even know if it was the first time Jack came out, but I know in Canada when he was up there, I got photos in the text message, like, "Hey, look at this dog." You know, even when you're not there, people, you know, people that know you, people will look at the dog, and they'll be like, "Hey, you know what? I know somebody that's gonna like that.
That like that dog." Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, and that's how it was when I was in Romania. It's a dog. He's actually in Russia. And I was very impressed with him. I mean, it's big chocolate, and he's a chocolate tri dog. He's huge, boy, huge. Took a picture with him and everything, and I posted it up a few times. He's a champion, might be a grand champion if I'm not mistaken. Not 100% sure on that, but I mean, just very, very impressive, big, bully, functional dog, you know. And those dogs, they just never leave your mind, you know.
Yeah.
You just always want to talk about them. Yeah. And that's what I want to have over here. I just want that dog that somebody's like, "Man, did you see that damn dog over there? Oh my gosh," you know.
So that dog is wild.
Oh yeah.
So Day One Bulls wants to know what's the hardest trait you find to breed away from?
Hardest trait that well, I would actually say is rear assemblies when I started to cross over into the DAC stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the tough things that was that I was trying to weed out. I finally got it, but I felt it kind of challenging when it first came about, because I didn't have those issues, you know, before.
Right.
And I was just trying to figure, like, okay, what do I need to do to clean this up, you know? And actually, I got the mixture right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's the hard part is, you know, people are realizing for lots of times we're breeding the dogs that aren't necessarily what we consider the perfect picture of the dog. They have certain components. They bring positive components. They also bring negatives.
For sure.
And if you catch the positives, but you also catch those negatives, now you got more work. You know, you got to try to get rid of that negative, but maintain that gain.
Exactly.
And that, you know, it takes some strategy. Speaking of, here's a question. Hardy Bloodline Kennels wants to know, what's your breeding strategy? Do you line breed, tight inbreed, or prefer loose matching dogs?
Well, my strategy is what I go for is basically, of course, just appearance really of the dogs. And then what I would also do is kind of look and see, all right, what do those litter mates look like? You know, is this just one of those one dogs in the litter that's like, bam, he was a one, and then everything else looks like shit? You know, so I want to see that. You know, if those dogs are not up to that dog standard and I'm going to breed to, are they somewhat close to them? You know, what are kind of characteristics, what traits do those dogs carry? You know, not only the dog that I'm breeding to. And as far as breeding tight, I kind of do more of line breedings. I do actually plan on doing a pretty tight breeding coming up after this litter here. I'm thinking about taking London actually back to her dad, which is Grand Champion Nipsey Hussle.
Okay.
And I decided to do that is because really the bottom half of the pedigree, I think it's enough of an outcross on Laura London to go on and go back to her dad, and I'll actually still be able to, keep those really nice traits and not go too far when I'm going to get too many flaws,
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. She was probably she's pretty scatterbred on the bottom, so you feel like topside doubling up on it won't hurt too bad.
Well, actually, she has some old school blood back on the bottom half. So she's her dad. Her mom is off of Icon to actually one of Rodrigo's females that carries some of the old school blood. So it's my boy Grand Champion Rockstar and some of Thug blood. So I think it's enough of that in there where I'll be good to go and double up with her with her dad. I think it'll hit pretty nice.
Yeah, I've actually got some. I've got a couple like Razor's Edge older blood dogs. I've got them locked in, and every time I think about using them, though, it scares me. I'm just like, I put a lot of work in to get the breed type.
Yeah,
this is the breed type I want, and then when you think about it, you're like, man, if I breed back, like I want to exaggerate those muscles even more.
Yeah.
I want that rib cage. I want that rear assembly. There's a lot of stuff I want there, but how much could it potentially cost me to go back like that? You know what I mean? So it's tough. It's like you just keep trying to push forward. And
absolutely.
Yeah. It may do it experimentally one time, just use one of those older style dogs just to see what happens, but just be fully prepared for you just gave it all back on that one. You're gonna have to pick it up and try something else.
Yeah.
But no, that's interesting. A lot of people we kind of see a variance in breeding styles in people, and you'll see people that really do like tight line breeds and inbreeds. And then, some people will do more outcrosses but they just develop a system over time, and they're just like, this is my system. And this is how it works for me. And, at the end of the day, no matter how you do it, as long as you get the dog that we need to see, it doesn't matter. Like whatever you need to do to get you there.
That's true. So, and it's crazy because back in the day, it was a lot of scatterbred dogs that actually produced really nice. Like I would say one of them would be Excalibur back in the day. A dog was scatterbred, and I mean produced his ass off, produced. So a lot of dogs back in the day that was scatterbred that produced really nice. And I mean, when I actually went on and did the crossover into the Rock and Ruby to Dax stuff, people were like, man, why are you gonna do that? Oh, you're gonna breed Dax dog, Dax. It's like, nah, I think it's gonna do something, And I mean, I did kind of lose that assembly that I was looking for in the rear, but I did pick up a lot of good traits that I wanted to incorporate. And it was just that stepping stool, It's like, all right, I got this. All right, now I need to see how I can go on and improve these issues that I'm having, And it was nice. I think it hit pretty well, especially when actually I took that back into some of the Rock and Ruby blood, and it came back. It came back as far as with my rear assemblies. They came out much better. And then also the dogs that I had off of Rockstar, all the bitches and actually studs as well too. All of them had like real wide rib cages. They all had wide spreads in the front and all. And Laura London, prime example. Her mom comes from off of some of Rockstar stuff. Thug was actually a really nice producing dog, really big dog, big standard dogs back in the day, big rears, a lot of muscle. And I got all that in with some newer blood,
Nice. Can't beat that.
No.
Let me see what the next question here is. What is the best tight breed combination to you? I'm assuming he's saying like different blood combinations, I'm assuming.
I would say, well, to me, I would go with what I have on my yard, honestly, as far as it being tight bred. I like the fact when I do, once again, Rock and Ruby blood over into some of the Rocco stuff that I have now, I had really good results with it. I get some of the modern look, the looks that we have today, with still some of the old school looks. You know?
Right.
So I like that combination. I prefer to stick with it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the dogs, you know, when you have dogs that are super extreme, I like seeing those outcrosses, because then I see, you know, when someone messages me and they say, "Hey, I've got, you know, I've got some lucky blood, like this is a lucky granddaughter. I want to take it to something, this crazy shit you got on your yard," you know. And I see that vision. I understand what it is that they're trying to do, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But lots of times we'll see lots of people, they just continue to tightly breed, and you know, you get bigger dogs for sure, but they start shrinking on you.
They start shrinking. Oh yeah.
I don't want no 13-inch dog, you know.
No.
I think Precious and Karen are like my two shortest females, and I don't even know. I've never put a wicket on Karen. She's so short. Her legs are only like that long.
Yeah, Bridget the midget. That's our smallest one. I mean, that's our colossal girl. It's colossal to Icon's sister. So you know, Icon is a Rocco's son, of course. But man, this little girl. We only had two in the litter. Me and my buddy Leon McBride Bullies in South Carolina. We did that breeding together, and both of the girls. I mean, little, and that's what Leon does. Leon does a lot of line breeding. He does a lot of his stuff back to each other. So he's got some bully dogs, but no legs. We're like, so we're just trying to decide on these two pups. We had two females. Like he's like, man, which one you think you're gonna go with? I'm like, I don't know. So we're looking at him. Was like, man, I gotta have more legs. He's like, man, I want the one with more legs, but hell, she came out to be like the size of one of my damn shorty bulls now. I mean, short, little, muscled up little thing. She's little, man. Little. I'm
trying to see, because I've got my super short female is off Colossal too. It's actually the first breeding of Colossal.
Okay.
And yeah, she's a short little thing. Like when she comes in the house, you know, the dogs will jump up on the couch.
Yeah. And
her legs are so short, she'll just like thump you. Thump, 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 thump. She's like thumping you with these little legs. I'm like, what are you doing? Get down, woman. Crazy. Let me see here. My camera goes crazy every once in a while. There we go. Let me see. Well, he specified a little bit here. He said like uncle, niece, dad, daughter kind of thing.
Yep. So I haven't done it myself, but well, I will be doing that coming up pretty soon.
Right.
Yeah. Doing some nice line breedings like that.
Yeah, we had talked to I can't remember who it was. Someone else had mentioned that they had just done like outcrosses and like very distant related breedings for years, just years and years and years. And they're just now dipping into kind of tightening things up a little bit, trying to add some new stuff and tighten it up.
Yeah.
So it definitely does seem to be a common theme I'm starting to see from people that are more established, have been in the game for a while.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they're starting to experiment a little bit and, you know, bring in some new stuff and trying to, but the good thing is you guys have this established program that worked for you for years.
Yeah.
Right. And you can always be like, nope, that's messed up. I'm going back over here, which I know this works.
Yes.
You know, for a lot of us that are new, we don't have an established breeding plan, you know, necessarily. We had to build it for ourselves.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing takes time.
It does. It definitely does.
You guys are at a huge advantage because you've already seen a lot of this go down. You've already seen, you know, what the results were. And it's so funny how the newer people, you know, they just don't reach out to a lot of these people and ask questions. You know what I mean? Like these guys have been around forever and they'll talk to you. They're not assholes. Like reach out to them and say, hey, this is what I got. And, you know, what would you do if this was the situation? And people will definitely do that.
For sure.
Let me see what this one. Oh, okay. This guy says, Hardy Blood, I have a female off of a grandfather to granddaughter breeding. Would I need to outcross, thinking of taking her back to her uncle? So grandfather to granddaughter. That's kind of breeding back. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Because you're going to start pulling up some of those older traits that's going to start coming back up to the front if you're going that tight. So he probably does definitely need the outcross, I would say.
And then for you, I know you pay attention a lot to what the dog looks like.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, if the dog, let's say it was granddaughter to grandfather, but she doesn't really look like the grandfather all that much, right? Now, in that case, do you still feel like that's kind of tight? I mean, it looks like she didn't really pick up on his traits necessarily.
But she'll probably produce those traits, though.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what I was thinking. Like, she's still capable of producing those, but that's the tough part is like you double up on something and you're like, you're expecting, okay, we're going to pick that up. And then you don't, right? And then you're like, what the hell?
Yep.
And you breed it. And then all of a sudden, even though she doesn't look the part, she's able to produce the part.
Yes. Yep.
Let me see.
I have had that with bullies and also with game dogs.
Let's see. This one, in y'all's opinion, is dad to daughter line breed or inbreed? I mean, to me, that's by definition, it's inbreeding. I know there was
inbreeding for sure.
Yeah, there was conversation on another podcast. Particular question, I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
All right.
Inbreeding for sure.
Let me see. Yes, true, but we had to build from where we started as well. This is true. Y'all didn't. Y'all came from pit bulls.
Yeah.
Where we are today.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of people don't have an appreciation for that. Like that is wow. In 20 years, basically, you just completely changed what a dog looks like. Like absolutely, completely.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is mom gene stronger than? I'm sure you're a female, like you're female focused, right? As a breeder, like I want to see the female. I am too. I'm the same way.
Yeah, we have one stud dog here in this icon. That's it. Everything else, none but females. Well, I got a male Frenchie and a male shorty. Yeah, but everything else females. 18 dogs.
Yeah. I've got I don't even know, 4 or 5 males now. I don't know. I lose track. But anyway, I do, because at the end of the day, that was part of my model was like, I want to be like the Walmart of studs.
Yeah, yeah.
You can come to my program. I'm going to have 4 or 5, all different prices, all different breed type. Like we're going to find something that'll work for you, something, so we can do business. But at the same time, my females are the future of my program. Like in the story, they have to fit that part. It doesn't benefit me to keep a female around that isn't bully if just because I have a male that's bully. Like, I need the female to be that way.
Yeah, you need that female to be, if not the same level as that male, like, right under them. Because I mean, if you look at those big studs out there, those bitches play a huge part.
Yeah.
Huge part. Huge part.
Yeah, so even when we look back at, we look back at, the breeding of like, we bring up Zero a lot because he's close to us, but, we look at Coco going to Bark Wahlberg. We're talking a massive bully female, going to a very nice male and produce Zero. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then down the road, 7 getting even bigger. I'm like, I don't know how much bigger we can get it, but
oh yeah.
Let me see. That's what I was referring to. We get most of the time we're picking up on what you're saying. We just don't want to bring it on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're picking up what you're putting down.
We
right.
We ain't trying to get involved in all that.
Right.
Jeez. So you said you have some breedings planned moving forward, and you show wise you're doing a few this year, but you're not really going all out crazy.
Yeah, not going too crazy. Now I was told that oh well, people don't like the show in the Errol. Huh? Okay, that's fine, so that's fine.
If there are people that don't, there are people that do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Guaranteed. For sure. And the worst part is the people that like to show under you aren't going to say nothing.
Right.
Only the people that don't
Right.
say
Right.
it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So,
Yeah, if I have a, and that's you as a show goer, like you learn the personalities of your judges. You understand.
oh yeah.
I want to build a dog that impresses you, and I want to build a dog that impresses all the judges, every
Yeah.
one of them. And even if the one judge says, well, he's a little overdone, but
Mhm.
he moves pretty well.
Mhm.
Like, and that same judge that's a type judge says, yep, dog got type. It looks
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
So to put them all together, that
Yes.
all together is really what you want to do.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, if your particular style is, you lean toward a dog that's a little cleaner or moves a little better or whatever your preference is, it's absolutely needed. Your opinion out there is absolutely needed.
For
Just
sure.
because a couple people cry about it, don't let them get it.
Oh yeah. Trust me, it's been years of that, so it doesn't bother me at all whatsoever. They get upset when I withhold those ribbons and do those
Oh yeah,
second place and all that. Hey,
yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. And I'll tell you exactly why, and I'm not gonna hold my tongue.
Yeah. And I think, now how many people do approach you after a show and kind of ask questions?
Oh, I get a lot.
Do you?
Day of the show and days after the show. Yeah.
Like they expect you to remember their dog? Like,
Yeah.
remember that dog you passed over? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And if I don't remember, hey, look, send me some pictures.
Show me a picture of him.
Yeah, send me some pictures. And I always really like for people to talk to me right afterwards. That way it'll kind of be fresh in the head. And then, I may give them a brief, summary real quick right after their show. And then I also would still like to talk to them that day of the show, like when I'm actually really finished, or if I have if I'm waiting for a reason, for on another ring or whatever, I like to talk to them right then and there. So it's real fresh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's I don't do it that much because honestly, if I put a dog in your ring and you don't pick it, I already know why. It ain't that big a deal. I already know why you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's something obviously and you pay attention to the dog you do pick. The dog you hand the ribbon to, I'm gonna look at it and be like, what did he see in that dog that he really liked?
Yeah.
What is different? And what was it that he really liked about that dog?
Yes.
Not that I agree with every judge's decision. Sure, I disagree with them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's an opinion.
It is an opinion.
Everybody, and the more people you can satisfy their opinion, the more I feel like you're getting closer to the target.
Yes. Yep.
Absolutely. Cindy Cindy McCloskey is Cindy Johnson on YouTube.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. I was like, okay, I know that dog right there. Cindy Johnson. I was like, okay, yeah, I know.
I'm like, that's confusing. What the hell is going on there? That's nuts. So what's the plans for the future? What can we look forward to seeing from you?
Well, like I said, I got these breedings coming up. So I don't sell a lot of pups. Honestly, I don't. If I have a litter, I'll probably keep 2 pups, maybe 3 pups. Probably, pass them out to the family members and stuff. And sometimes, if I have something that I feel that's nice that I need to put out into a show home, or somebody is interested in buying a pup, then I may probably sell a pup here or there. But I'm looking forward to the new stock that I'll have coming up. And then, like I said, I got some Frenchies that I'm going to be putting about one Frenchie right now that I'll be putting out, showing her, and just hosting shows and judging shows. That's it, man. That's it.
When you have a dog and you say, okay, I think this dog has the capability of being a good show dog.
Mm-hmm.
What's the process of trying to find the right people for that dog? Like, do you have a short list of people that that you want to hand dogs to, or actively look?
Yeah, and it's normally it's people that I would talk to, quite often at the shows. And they would, matter of fact, I went to a BRC show, and there was a gentleman there, a handler, had a pretty nice dog, and I showed him some dogs that I'm going to be breeding. He's like, man, he said, I'm real interested in it. And I was telling him, how I sell dogs. And so like someone like that's really interested, that's really wanting to improve his program and actually is really serious into showing, I don't mind selling, a dog to a person like that, because I know the dog is going to be put out, he's going to be taken care of, it's going to be shown. It's, he's going to BRC, ABKC shows. I think he does another registry. So I want to say he does do ABKC as well. So, I wouldn't mind putting a nice dog, a quality dog that's going to represent me, one, because it came from me. And then also, he's not out there looking all crazy with some, bullshit for him to say, oh, well, I got this dog from Errol Hard Body Bulls. Yeah, he's a judge. Hell no. No. So I don't mind selling dogs like that. Well, quality dogs like that to people that's really going to be out there to show the dogs, and also potentially put together a nice breeding program with the dog.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hard part when you get a message and someone messages you and they're like, hey, like literally your message history is empty. And the first thing they send you is like, hey, what's the process of coding a dog with you? I'm like,
yeah,
well, you failed already. We don't even know who you are.
Yeah, I do not know who you are. Yeah. If I
go
to your page and I don't see anything on your page as far as dog related, or you've been going to shows or whatever, nope, it's not the one.
Yeah, these types of things are for, I've got people that message me every week, like people we're just in contact with regularly. And those are the people that come in mind. And the other thing, and I'm sure you're like this too, you're just like, well, if I can't find a place for that dog, it can just stay right here. It ain't got to go nowhere.
That's right.
It ain't got to go nowhere.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
Hardy Bloodline Kennels wanted to know, what do you look for when you're making your puppy picks? That's a good question.
I kind of started looking at my puppies, honestly. Well, of course, looking at them, but making that decision really as soon as the litter comes out. So I'm looking, like, let's just say, okay, American Bullies, for instance. Of course, they all looking, puppies look like a puppy, but when you see this litter every day, you're looking at a particular puppy in the litter. You're like, damn, yeah, that's going to be the one. I really don't make a final decision. Honestly, sometimes we keep pups till they're about 12, 14 weeks before I decide that I'm going to, let it go, especially, breeds that I have coming up with these. I'm probably going to keep these pups till they're probably about 14, 16 weeks old. Right. I don't care. I don't mind that at all whatsoever. I just want to make sure I have the best pup in that litter. And then if I do have someone that I am going to sell a pup to, I don't mind waiting that, because, hey, they're going to stay here. They're going to be well taken care of. They're going to get some type of training before they leave. And then, as far as my own decision, I'm going to look at how they're taken to the training, their attitude. Are they, they're that little skittish pup that kind of doesn't want to be around. I'm looking at all that. I'm looking at all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got one right now. It's kind of the opposite. Like, you don't want the skittish pup, and this dog is a wild man.
Yeah, you don't want that either. I like that. I like that happy medium,
He's like super independent. He'll come over every once in a while, but then he's off, like, trying to rip the straps off my camera bag or something. He's a wild man. Let's see what this question is. What is the longest you've waited? Let's see. Yeah, what's the longest you waited before you made your picks?
What a crazy one was, Robert Lee and I did a breeding bust to a female I had, Hyphy. That was a Rowdy Town daughter. So it was Rowdy Town bred back to some of my stuff. And I think I held those pups until they were probably about 16 weeks. I did. Yeah. It was in that litter. It was a two-piece litter as well, two females, and they were both super, super, super nice. And I was like, Rob, I said, man, I can't make a decision. So we're talking just about every day. I'm sending them videos, sending them pictures and stuff. And I'm like, man, which one do you want to go with? He's like, he said, man, I see what you mean. Take your time, brother. It's all good, So yeah, that litter, I held them for 16 weeks, and I didn't mind. It was two females, and I'm just watching them grow, man. Just watching them grow, and finally made a decision. I mean, really, with those, I couldn't go wrong either way I went.
Yeah. And that's, we actually kind of made a bit of a public thing out of it on that one litter. The first breeding in Nomi, we had 3 boys and they looked all the same. And every one of them looked the same. And Dina favored this one and I favored this one. And we were like, we're going to find out which one of ours is, and I would tease her online. I'm like, yours was going to a couch. Like mine's but I don't even remember how old I don't know how old those dogs were even. They may have been 5-6 months before, we finally made our final decision.
Wow.
And I don't know if that works that way for you, but for me, when you get a dog that's 5 or 6 months old, it's tougher to find a home for it. You know what I mean? Everybody wants a puppy, so it makes it tougher to find a good quality home for it when it's an older dog.
Yeah, because at that point, really, you're going to keep pups until they actually grow. But then also, you do get those people, if they're looking like something in a few more months, you might probably get that buyer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They jump in after they get through the awkward stage for sure.
Oh yeah.
Let me see. If you got any more questions, please jump in there and throw them out here for him. We don't want to keep him here all night. Obviously, sounds like you got a family back there trying to get some attention.
Yeah, my little one. I say she wants to get that attention from me, especially when it's time for her to start winding down. She's like, "All right, no, I need to go on and be with you."
Well, let's do this. Let's give some people some information, how they get a hold of you. You have a website or what's your social media is? Throw all that stuff out there for them.
Oh, good. Well, you can always reach me Facebook or Instagram. I don't do the website anymore. I shut the website down years ago. So I just do the Facebook, Instagram thing. You can, message me, of course. Facebook is Errol Bodden. Instagram is Hard Body Bullies with the number 1. You can catch me on there. You can, I'll normally post some, a few pictures here and there, some videos, whatever. You can message me on there as well too. Then really that's it. Catch me on those social medias. Of course, the shows as well too. So, you'll see me start to promote some shows and, coming up for the Labor Day show for next year, 2025. It'll be August 24th, 2025. We'll be doing so. And then also we're going to bring back the Atlanta Bully Barbecue as well too. So stay tuned for that. And, we're just making those shows better and better every year, especially the Labor Day showcase. A lot of people are happy with the awards and all that stuff that they got. So, it was awesome. And we're going to just make it even better next year. So
the Atlanta Bully Barbecue, tell me a little bit about that one. Because that's a little bit different than just a show, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more than just a show. So yes, it is going to be a sanctioned show, but I want it to be like more of a big meet and greet. So, I want, people from all over to come as far as, any type of dogs. It doesn't have to be a bully, Frenchie, whatever we're judging for that day. All dogs are welcome. We're going to have different activities for the kids. I know last time I did it, I had the big pit out. So I was out there barbecuing, and we're looking to do that. We're going to have different food trucks out and all. And I just want it to be a really good hangout environment. Just come out, enjoy yourself. Hey, if you don't want to show a dog, it's going to be cheap booths as well too. And just come out and have a good time is what we're looking for.
Hopefully that catches on with some other people, because that's the kind of thing I like. What Chris does, the was that Beast of the East kind of thing, where it's a more laid back like that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm definitely, and you're not that far from me. Like Georgia isn't that far. It's a drive, but it's not that far. So
come on down, man. Come on down.
We'll definitely try to make that one for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you get off here and get to the family. I appreciate you coming on and just let you pick your brain for a minute and have it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate the invite.
It's been a great time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to jump off here. We appreciate you tuning in and hit us up next week. Sam Leem, I believe, is next week.
Oh,
all right, guys. We'll see you.
All right. Later, y'all.